Hey, welcome on in. A busy time in sports. You're going to love this show as we got stuff on the ice, on the courts, on the diamond, and more. But first up, we'll get to all the latest news with our headlines, which are powered by the Red Zone over on Regent Street and Conan Automotive in Stoughton. Yes, your headlines next on the Sports News on Wisconsin's 57 Sports. All right, time now for the headlines. Your look into the tackles, hits, checks, and dunks that make up the local sports scene. I'm your host, Rich Reynolds, and as always, let's hit the ground running. Well, if you could have seen the look of pride I had on my face on Saturday night, I'm telling you, the sense of satisfaction that made me grin from ear to ear. Our station, Wisconsin's 57, was televising the Wisconsin men's hockey game live from Penn State. Now, Bucky had just beaten the Nittany Lions the night before, and Coach Granato and the boys were tied for first in the Big Ten. And then 11th ranked Penn State won out and handed the Badgers their worst loss of the season, a shellacking of 6-0 that never saw the Badgers threaten the scoreboard. For Wisconsin, they'll have 1 week to bounce back. That's this weekend as they host Ohio State Friday and Saturday nights before the Big Ten tournament heads to Detroit. Well, before the Madison Capitals returned home to the Coliseum on Sunday to match up with Sioux Falls, by the way, the Caps split a pair on the road over the weekend. The WIAA was center ice as the boys' state hockey title was on the line, and the Hudson Raiders held off Waukesha North for the win and their second title in program history. Hudson allowed just 24 goals in 30 games this season. 24. Wow. By the way, on the girls' side of the bracket, DC Everest squeaked out an overtime thriller 2-1 over Green Bay East. Well, while the hockey tournament was winding down, the basketball tournaments in the state were just heating up. Notable results on the girls' side saw Middleton beat Madison East ahead of the D1 semifinals in Green Bay. By the way, congrats especially to the Lemarant sisters who were guests on our program last week. Madison Edgewood and Monroe were also winners over the weekend, while Milton, Darlington, and Fall River all got tripped up in their respective brackets. Over on the boys' side now, foul trouble for Alex Arians cost the Madison Edgewood Crusaders, as Alex Ranney also ripped off 33 points as Lake Mills beat Edgewood 77-65. Speaking of 30-point efforts, how about 32 from Keyshawn Justice as Madison East shocked Sun Prairie 82-68 to advance in D1 play. Other local teams advancing were Madison Memorial, Middleton, Monona Grove as they edged Stoughton 80-77, Beloit Turner, Adams Friendship, Partyville, Darlington, Barneveld, Waunakee, and New Glarus. And a lot of eyes were on some former Badgers this week at the NFL Combine in Indianapolis. For a couple of linebackers, that was a good thing. For a couple of running backs, not so much. Corey Clement and Daria Gumbawale failed to impress in either power or speed drills. Clement turned in a 4.68 40 time, which was only 24th out of all running backs. Meanwhile, both TJ Watt and Vince Beagle, they improved their draft stock in Indy ahead of the NFL draft, which will be April 27th through the 29th in Philadelphia. Currently, the Green Bay Packers are slotted to pick 29th in the first round. Well, for more information on our headlines and all the 411, check out these fine, non-fake news websites. Stick around. We have more interviews than anyone else next on the Sports News here on Wisconsin's 57 Sports. All right, I know it's warming up a little bit out there and everybody's got thoughts of spring on the brain, but I also think it's cool to stay focused, stay on the ice as we bring in a familiar face in Ben from Oregon Ice Arena and On Ice Promotions. And welcome back, Ben. And, let's talk about what's going on over at the Oregon Ice Arena and Friday Night Mites. What is that all about?
Yeah, well, it's a program for second-year U8 players who are making the transition from playing cross ice into full ice for their squirt season next year. It's a program we started last year. It's pretty cool. We do full ice scrimmages, kind of drills, games, and then in the last session, it's just a 4-week session. So in the last one, then we actually do turn off the lights, put the spotlights on the kids, announce their names, and yeah, it's pretty fun little deal.
Yeah, I would think that's a huge transition for a lot of those kids to make, isn't it? I mean, that's so much more room for them to cover.
Yeah, like USA Hockey a couple years ago, they have this ADM model, so it's American Developmental Model. And when they put that into place, they took all like the U8s out of full ice into cross ice. So we want to really promote the full ice game, especially coming into sports, because what we're finding right now is kind of unfortunate. Like I love the small area games and all that stuff is great, but a lot of these kids, they can't skate because they're not used to going the full ice. So it's a program, it's successful. We sold it out last year, we sold it out this year. So yeah.
Speaking of kids on the ice, you guys do that Little Buggers hockey school as well. What is that all about? What do the kids learn there?
How to play hockey. So I mean, that's what it's all about,
yeah,
right?
Okay.
No, we do a lot of skating. Like I said, the skating ability these days is just different. So even for like the little guys, you start at 3 years old, 3 to 7 is our program, and we do full ice drills. Like we started last year, and yeah, I had kids, 3, 4 year olds. They might be pushing a chair, maybe not, but we're doing Russian circles and full ice stuff, and the kids are gassed by the time they get done. So parents appreciate that.
Absolutely, yeah. And in today's hockey, boy, it's skating more important than it's ever been, really, ever before if you watch the sport. So as we transition from the colder weather to the warmer weather,
yep.
We could talk a little bit about summer and the summer of fun that is sports camp.
Summer of fun.
Yeah. What's all that about?
Well, like obviously hockey's our biggest deal, right? Like we love promoting hockey. But in order to become a good hockey player, you have to be a good athlete. And even for all other sports too. So what we want to do is we want to train kids how to be athletes. Whether it's, to play football, to play tennis, to play soccer, lacrosse, it really doesn't matter. It's got to start at a young age, and you got to have people that actually know how to train. So that's where I have a guy who's 30, he's got retired now, but he was a PE teacher for 30 years. He teaches Team Wisconsin hockey. He's the leader of that camp for us. And I have all varsity athletes and college athletes and some junior players that are coming to be the actual instructors. So it's a camp, it's all summer long. You can choose by the week. You can do a morning session, afternoon session. You can play all day. For ages 7 to 12, I think is a good kind of age range. And it's pretty inexpensive. So you can go the entire week, all day for $125.
Wow, good stuff going on. Yeah, get your kids involved. Ben, we're out of time. Thanks for coming.
Good to see you.
The other night I was watching a little NBA and saw Steph Curry against the 76ers go 0 for 11 from beyond the three-point arc, which got me thinking he could use the Shot Doctor. As we bring back Coach Gary Close from the Shot Doctor Academy. And Shot Doctor, he could have used your help right there, and so you're good at teaching shooting. That's what we've heard, and it's why they call you the Shot Doctor. What actually got you into teaching shooting specifically?
Well, when I first started coaching at the Division I level at Stanford a while ago, I wanted to find a niche where I could not only help the program, but help the individual players within it. And I'd always kind of been interested in shooting and kind of studied a little bit more. And then a big thing is I ran into a shooting coach who had Stanford connections in Southern California by the name of Des Flood, who was a terrific shooting coach. And we worked a lot of camps together and worked individual players out together. And he had a great impact on some of the things that I teach and kind of a mentor. And so it was kind of a way to make an impact on the program, and it kind of grew from there.
Yeah, wow, and good stuff. And again, Steph could have used some consultation the other night. He's been in a bit of a slump. Now, he's a good shooter, though. And we've seen some good shooters around here, and even with the Badger program when you were a part of that. What do you think are some of the characteristics of a good shooter?
Well, I think a consistent delivery. And one of the things that we work in our camps and in our training sessions, we try to eliminate as much wasted motion as possible. If we can get it down to be a pretty concise, compact delivery with as little error in it, then you're going to be a little more consistent. Now, it takes time. I think it's important that you work on simple things to start with, depending on the age, and then gradually build. And that's what our camps and clinics do. We start with the basics in terms of stance and hand location and ball location, and then get more involved with quick release and things like that. But in the end, you're trying to make a good, consistent delivery every time.
Now, with some of those kids, you talk about them getting started. What age can they get started? And when they start that young, what are you really focusing in on?
Well, as we talked about the basics, I think 4th, 5th, 6th grade you can get started. I think it's important when you're really young to play with a small ball and maybe even lower the basket so that you're not throwing the ball as much if it's a heavier ball or a higher basket. But we start with the basics, and as they get older, we get a little bit more involved. But I think, at an early age, if you can learn it the right way, then it makes it a lot easier as develop as a basketball player.
Spring and summer right around the corner. We've talked about some of the camps that you got coming up. What can kids learn there? What are you focusing in on?
Well, the interest has been great. I think our training sessions involve two things. One session is basically all the fundamentals: ball handling, offensive moves, footwork, and of course shooting. And then we have a shooting clinic every week, and that's where we break down the shot and try to develop each player with a better shooter as the weeks go on.
Good stuff. Coach, thank you as always, and we appreciate you being here on the Sports News.
Thank you.
A special thank you to Conan Automotive in Stoughton for supporting local athletics.
All right, we get to chat with another familiar face here on the Sports News as we bring in Perry Hibner from Middleton High School. And as much as I would like to continue our chat about the success of the boys and girls basketball teams, which are doing very well, we're turning our attention to softball right now, Perry. And so as we bring you in and talk about heading to the Diamond and the girls on the softball team this year, what are your prospects looking like?
We should have another very strong season. We have 5 starters back from last year's team and 3 other girls who were part-time starters. We have two to three players we need to replace from the starting lineup. Shelby Baldwig, who is a 4-year starter and an all-conference first baseman. My daughter, Catherine Hibner, who played second base and short for us, and our third baseman, Bailey Kelcher. But we have a lot of options, so we're excited about the upcoming season.
So you talk about those options and some of those players that are back, though. Who are the players that are back specifically? What names you got for us
You
that are
bet.
key
So
returning
we've got 3 seniors to look out for. Center fielder Rachel Everson. She's a 3-year starter, 2-time all-conference player, and an Indiana-Purdue Fort Wayne recruit. Pitcher Mackenzie Kopp. She's a 2-year starter, was a first-team all-conference player last year and hit well over 400. Left fielder Hannah Fisher, who has played in the varsity level for 3 years and was an all-conference player last year. And then 2 juniors who have started for us for 2 years, Jessica Parente and Lauren Benke. All 5 of those will be great leaders this year. Looking forward to big things from them.
Excellent. And, we always talk about, too, and with other coaches around the conference, how strong the Big 8 conference usually is. Is that the case again in 2017?
It certainly is, Rich. Janesville Craig, defending champion. They'll be good again this year. They've got the returning Big 8 player of the year in Jenna Branch. She's a pitcher. Verona made state for what feels like the 100th time. Todd Anderson's got a nice group back, both pitchers, and his catcher, Savannah Rainey, is a University of Wisconsin recruit. We expect Sun Prairie, they always hit the ball well. They'll be good again this year. Also expect good things from Mattis and Beloit Memorial. So it'll be a tough conference again this year.
Now, personally for you, you're in your sophomore season as the varsity coach. Does that make it a little bit easier, you think, this time around?
It does. It certainly does. Looking forward to the group, working with the group. It was nice to have the entire offseason to talk with all the players in the program, learn about what they're hoping to accomplish. So, yeah, second year's hopefully a little easier. And we had a good year last year, 16-9, but we're hoping to improve upon that record this year.
Your sophomore season will be better as long as you're not sophomoric, I think, is what we are looking at.
Fair enough.
Terrible pun. Now, I hear that you get to go to Florida. You get to break out here for a little while. Tell us about that trip and what that means for you guys.
Very much looking forward to it. As you know, Wisconsin weather can be unpredictable all year long, but especially in March. So we'll be heading down there from March 25th through the 30th. We get to play 3 official games, a non-official game. If the rain holds off, we should get a lot of practices in. Great chance for our team to bond. We think it'll be a great way for us to get ready for the upcoming season.
Yeah, always excellent stuff, and we appreciate you coming in and talking about some of the good stuff going on at your school and with the team. So, Coach, thank you very much. Good luck on the season.
Thanks, Rich. Always a pleasure.
Brought to you by Conan Automotive, taking care of you by taking care of your family's car.
Welcome back to the Sports News. With me now is Kim Chacos with the Madison Capitals. Welcome, Kim. So you've got some great big promotions coming up. You've got the Ryan Suter Bobblehead Night. Tell us about that.
Yeah, on Friday, March 10th, we're having the Ryan Suter Bobblehead Night. So everybody who comes in through the doors will get a Ryan Suter bobblehead, and it's super cool. Ryan Suter is one of our owners who plays for the Minnesota Wild, and he's a Madison native. And we actually have him in a Capitals jersey and uniform, and it's presented by Quick Trip. They're a great partner of ours, and so we're excited to hand out Ryan Suter bobbleheads.
Yeah, really exciting to get your hands on one of those. Now, are there special ticket offers for that?
Yep, we do have one right now. It's for $15. You get a ticket to the game, a slice of Rocky Rococo's pizza, and a scoop of chocolate shop ice cream, all for just $15. So you can get that on our website at madcapshockey.com.
Sounds great. I'm sold on it. So Saturday night is the Cross-Check Cancer Night. Tell us about that.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite nights of the year. So we partner with UW Carbone Cancer Center to raise funds for their organization and to help with cancer research and to raise awareness. So it seems like this day and age, everybody is affected by cancer in one way or another. Everybody seems to know somebody who is affected by it. And so we like to bring people together and raise awareness and celebrate those who have fought the disease and those who are still fighting. And so on Saturday, March 11th, we'll have specialty jerseys for the players to wear, and ticket proceeds and jersey proceeds will go back to UW Carbone Cancer Center.
It's a great cause too. Now, how did your partnership with them come about?
Yeah, we have been partners with UW Health since the beginning of our inception, and we were thinking prior to last season, we should really give back to them and see how we can partner with them on our cancer night. And so we met with UW Carbone Cancer Center. So that was prior to last season. So this will be our second annual night where we cross-check cancer, and proceeds will go to UW Carbone Cancer Center.
Now, for this Cross-Check Cancer Night, fans can actually get their hands on some specialty jerseys. How do they do that?
Yeah, so our players will be wearing specialty jerseys. They're like a light blue this year, and they have different color ribbons around the waist, and it says UW Carbone Cancer Center. And they're really spiffy. They look pretty awesome, if I may say so myself. I'm excited to see them out there in the baby blue. And we'll have a silent auction during the game that fans can bid on jerseys, and then we'll have a live auction post-game for probably about 10 of the jerseys. And they'll be game-worn, autographed by our players. And then, like I said, most of the proceeds will go back to UW Carbone Cancer Center. So we want fans to come out and support the cause, and we have great ticket packages online for the cause as well. They range from just tickets to, there's a $50 package, a $100 package, and a $250 package. And the larger the package, the more money goes back to UW Carbone Cancer Center. So it's really exciting to get everybody to come out and support such a great organization.
Absolutely. Definitely get out there and check out the Madison Capitals. Well, thanks so much, Kim.
Thank you so much.
A special thank you to Conan Automotive in Stoughton for supporting local athletics.
Welcome back to the Sports News. I'm Ellen Barrett. David Wilson, president of TRD USA, or Toyota Racing Development, and Ed Laukus, VP of Integrated Marketing Operations at Toyota Motor Sales, are joining us live from Daytona International Speedway to tell us about what fans can expect to experience. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being with us today.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Thank you so much. And now, Ed, Toyota made an unprecedented move by unveiling this redesigned car at the North American Auto Show recently, and it's actually making an appearance on the racetrack before it's available to the public. What brought about that decision?
Yeah, so it's more than just an appearance. We actually are going to have it with all of our race teams this year. That car was designed, the race car was actually designed side by side with the production car at our design studio in Newport Beach, California. They're all made in Georgetown, Kentucky. And the reception that we received at the Detroit Auto Show was so phenomenal that we decided to bring it out and bring it to the racetrack. So for the first time ever in NASCAR history, you're actually going to see a car on the racetrack that actually is not available in the showrooms, and it won't be available until this fall. So the styling is impeccable. The reception's been great.
Absolutely incredible. And now, David, how does this change impact the race teams with such a drastic body change for the season?
Well, I'll tell you what, it was a lot of work for Toyota, for TRD, and our race teams, because it basically requires, all the teams to tear off all their old Camry bodies and rebody their race cars with our new 2018 car. The good news is we have some of the best teams in the business, and we have a great organization in TRD. We work side by side. We worked, and here's something for perspective. We've been working on this for 2 years. So the most amazing thing is we were able to keep this basically secret all the way to the North American Auto Show in January of this year. So we can't wait to get out there Sunday afternoon. Had a great weekend so far, and for the first time, the 2018 Camry visited Victory Lane last night with Denny Hamlin in the second Can-Am duel here at Daytona.
Phenomenal. And you guys celebrated your first NASCAR Cup Series championship in 2015 with Kyle Busch, and I know you just mentioned Denny Hamlin as well. What have these big wins meant for the organization?
It's such a big deal for our company. Everyone rallies around. We're a car company, right? So everyone loves racing, whether it be our dealers or our team members at our plants all across the United States or all of our customers. So it's a huge rallying cry for the company. Everyone gets excited whenever there's a Camry in Victory Lane.
Absolutely. Now, Ed, Toyota has been in the NASCAR Cup Series for 10 years now as a manufacturer. What does an investment in NASCAR make sense from a business perspective for Toyota when other manufacturers and sponsors have struggled in the past?
Yeah, we believe that, NASCAR is a great foundation. The fans are so passionate about their sport and so loyal to the brand. And when we started in 2007, there was a lot of people that were skeptical. But frankly, we've just become a fabric of NASCAR, and we're just competitors like everybody else. And everything that we do at the racetrack, everything that we do on the racetrack, everything that we do socially, and everything that the fans can actually see, a lot of everything that happens at ToyotaRacing.com as an example, everything has just become very, very integrated, and we believe that it's an ongoing great platform for our company.
Absolutely, and I know you mentioned the website right there, but where can our viewers go for some more information?
Again, it's ToyotaRacing.com. Super simple, easy to remember.
I love it. Again, David and Ed, thank you both for being with us today. We sure do love NASCAR and our Camrys here in the Midwest, so thank you for being with us.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much, and we'll be back with more sports news right here on Wisconsin's 57 Television after this.
Hey, a big thank you to all of our guests that were able to make it in and be on the sports news this week. Big thanks to you for watching, and also, of course, to the sponsors that keep us on the air, especially the Red Zone over on Regent Street and Conant Automotive in Stoughton. We'll see you next time on the sports news right here on Wisconsin's 57 Sports.